rezoning ordinance for the Ada Street LLC, second reading and adoption. This is an ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of Blue Ridge, Georgia by rezoning two tracts of parcels of land within the city of Blue Ridge being designated as 51 Ada Street and 215 River Street owned by Ada Street LLC and being approximately a total of 0.654 acres, more or less, as more particularly described on the plat and legal description, which are attached hereto and which are incorporated by reference into this ordinance, and rezoning the property from a medium-density residential R2 district to a limited commercial C1 district, without conditions, repealing conflicting ordinances to provide for severability, to provide for an effective date, and for other purposes. This is short. I'm going to go ahead and read the whole thing if y'all don't mind. Be it ordained by the City Council of Blue Ridge, Georgia as follows. Section 1, zoning imposed without conditions. A, that from and after the passage of this ordinance, the following described parcels within the City of Blue Ridge shall be zoned and so designated on the zoning map of the City of Blue Ridge as a limited commercial C1 district being designed as 51 Ada Street and 215 River Street and currently owned by Ada Street LLC, and being approximately 0.654 acres with the following conditions. Conditions: 1, none. Legal description. The legal description of the above referenced property, which is being rezoned from a medium density residential R2 district to a limited commercial C1 district, is as follows. All those tracts or parcels of land being approximately a total of 0.654 acres and lying and being within the City of Blue Ridge, Fannin County, Georgia, and owned by Ada Street LLC, and more particularly described in the legal descriptions and plat which are attached hereto and incorporated by reference hereof into this legal description. Section 2, repeal of conflicting ordinances. All ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict herewith are hereby repealed to the extent of the conflict. Section 3, severability of paragraphs. If any portion of this ordinance shall be invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity or unconstitutionality shall not affect or impair the remaining portions unless it clearly appears that other parts are wholly and necessarily independent upon the part held to be invalid or unconstitutional. Section 4, amendment to the zoning map. This ordinance is enacted as an amendment to the zoning map of the City of Blue Ridge. Section 5, effective date. The effective date of the zoning classification imposed by this ordinance shall be on the date the zoning classification is approved by the City of Blue Ridge by and through its City Council. And that's it. And then you do have the warranty deeds attached and the map. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the second reading, rezoning ordinance for Ada Street LLC.
Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor? All opposed?
Just so you know, Ada Street LLC objects strongly. You've rezoned our ground without permission. You have 2 lawsuits going against you now. Okay? Keep planning, you're going to get a third. Because it's unconstitutional, which is what you've done. Did you get that on the record?
Okay. Zoning ordinance, hotel, motel, conditional use, first reading. I guess everybody was ready to go to the next one.
This is in reference to C1 conditional use for hotel motel.
Well, wait a minute, we've got the recommendation from the planning commission. You read it, or you want to read it? I mean, you're welcome to read it. If you want to read it.
Okay, it says
Do you have any written copies of that?
This one on the hotel motel?
Yes.
You can have mine, I'll share with Ron if you want to read it. I'm just going to read it, so I don't have to do it.
Okay, this is from the Blue Ridge Planning Commission. Blue Ridge Planning Commission met on September the 20th to consider 2 amendments to the Blue Ridge zoning ordinance. following recommendations are forwarded to and as a result of the public hearing decisions of the planning commission. One, approval of an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance to provide that hotel or motel may be considered a conditional use within the limited commercial district. The recommendation includes 2 changes to the document that was forwarded to the planning commission for consideration. The changes are as follows. Under the heading of additional requirements, section 13.2-28A be changed to 2 1/2 stories from proposed limit of 2 stories, and under section 13.2-28E, the number of units be changed from 10 to 26. And the second, number 2, is the commission recommends without changes that the proposed change to the zoning ordinance to revise section 13.2 to provide that interested parties can appeal the decision of the Board of Appeals regarding an administrative interpretation of the Blue Ridge City Council, and to revise section 24.5 by adding provisions regarding appeals from action by the mayor and council and other purposes. So we have actually 2 things to vote on there. One is the amendment to the section 13.1 and 24.5, and the other one is to accept or deny the recommendation of the planning commission for the text amendment change to C1.
Are they allowing an extra half a story?
We'll explain it as for like facade and like floor, like, equipment that would go in the attic.
But not a living space? Does that wording not need to be in there?
Now, he said it had to do with facades and
This
things like that.
is what they recommended, but that's not consistent with what C1 is for the other uses in C1, so this is just what they recommended for this particular thing, for the conditional use of hotel motel in the C1.
But
So we all voted to make it 10, and they, or you all did, and they're saying
Right.
26.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really, that would make it C2.
right.
So I wonder why they just didn't recommend to make it C2.
They did the first time.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
do y'all wanna do the last step first then? Because I do wanna go back to the 2.5 stories at some point. I do have a
Well,
question
well-
about that.
Basically, that one's easy, just I make a motion to deny the planning commission recommendations to amend the C1 zoning ordinance.
Okay.
All of it, or pieces of it?
Just all of it, yeah, because we sent them what we wanted by 4-1 vote, and so they denied it. Or they've come back and told us what they wanted to see happen. So we can either strike ours, what we sent to them, and go by what they recommended, or, but either way, we gotta approve or deny their recommendation.
Okay, so you're saying, you're making a motion to deny the whole thing?
Well, on this particular C1, yes, their recommendations, yes.
Are you talking 1 and 2?
No, not just one, it's 2 separate ones, so I'm just making, see, this is on C1 zoning, the other one is on just a text amendment to the whole overall ordinance. Yeah. So again, I just make a motion to deny the planning commission recommendation to amend the text for C1 zoning to allow conditional use for a hotel.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll say.
All in favor? All opposed? Okay.
Okay, and on the second one, then I'll make a motion to approve the planning commission recommendations to revise section 13.1 and 24.5 of the zoning ordinance.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll say.
All in favor? All opposed?
And that one, actually has really nothing to do with the other one, so.
Well, again, it's two all along. The planning commission comes back to you 2 times, they try to cover up your mistakes. You
Steve,
come right back again.
if you want to have discussion, you can, I think, now that it's changed, if you want to do it in public comment, I think you can sign up from Kelsey, is that correct? You can still do
Well, we
that?
could just have it at the end.
I'm not gonna make any, it's already there, we'll just go ahead, again, let the court settle it, because there's not enough understanding about planning and zoning up here, on the whole bunch. You know, you have to figure out one thing.
If you will let her sign you up, I'll give you 2 minutes. I promise, I'll give you 2 minutes, everybody gets their 2 minutes, that's part of the
I
thing.
need it notified as well back on the planning and zoning,
Okay,
make that public record.
okay. But if you'll stay, we'll put you at the end, if you want to stay and talk.
The atmosphere's wrong in here, I'm sorry.
Okay. Zoning ordinance, hotel motel conditional use, first reading. An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the city of Blue Ridge, Georgia to provide that a hotel or motel may be a conditional use within the limited commercial district C1 in accordance with the terms and provisions of the zoning ordinance, to provide additional requirements as to the conditional use of a hotel or motel within the limited commercial zoning district C1 and for other purposes. Do I have,
This is the second reading, or
This is the first.
this is the first reading, I want me to
I'll make the motion to accept the first reading.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed? Have you all read it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll
read it. Well, I know, but I just want to make sure everybody had read it. So I want to make sure that the next reading I will read it. Zoning ordinance amendment, we did finish that, right? I did have all favor, all opposed, more one. Okay. Zoning ordinance amendment to revise sections 13, wait a minute.
That's that second one.
It's the first reading on that, second.
Okay, zoning ordinance amendment to revise sections 13.1 and 24.5, first reading. An ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the city of Blue Ridge, Georgia to revise section 13.1 to provide that interested parties can appeal the decision of the Board of Zoning Appeals regarding an administrative interpretation to the Blue Ridge City Council to revise section 24.5 by adding provisions regarding appeals from action by the mayor and council and other purposes. I'm gonna read all of this one. Whereas the City Council of the City of Blue Ridge, Georgia is authorized by OCGA 36-66-1 and the city charter to exercise its police power to enact zoning ordinances and regulations as to land use as to property within the City of Blue Ridge, Georgia. And whereas the City Council of the City of Blue Ridge, Georgia desires to clarify section 13.1 of the zoning ordinance as to appeals from the decisions of the Board of Zoning Appeals and to clarify the provisions regarding appeals from the final decision of the Blue Ridge City Council regarding map amendments and other amendments of the zoning ordinance. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of Blue Ridge, Georgia, and it is hereby ordained by the above referenced authority as follows. Section 1, amendment of the zoning ordinance. This ordinance shall amend the zoning ordinance of the City of Blue Ridge, Georgia to revise current provisions of the zoning ordinance being sections 13.1 regarding the table of permissible and conditional uses, and being the first paragraph of said section, but not including the actual table contained within said section, and also revising section 24.5 with the current provisions being deleted in their entirety, and with new sections 13.1 and 24.5 to be substituted in lieu thereof, and to read as follows. 13.1, table of permissible and conditional uses. No principal building, structure, or land use shall be permitted except in the zone districts indicated and for the purposes permitted in Table 13-1. Each use is mutually exclusive and does not encompass other uses listed in the table. A principal use denoted by the letter X is allowed in the zone districts by right, subject to any special requirements that may be applicable to that use. A principle of use denoted by the letter C is permitted only if a conditional use permit is granted by the mayor and council after review under the zoning procedures and standard ordinances, City of Blue Ridge, Georgia. For uses not listed in the following table, the zoning administrator can determine that said use is similar in impact and density to another use that is currently allowed in the zone district and shall rule that the said use is therefore allowed. In the event that no similarity exists, then the purposed use is not allowed, or if the interpretation of the zoning administrator is questioned, then the Board of Zoning Appeals properly conveyed can make a judgment as to whether said use is allowed in Blue Ridge. Appeals from the judgment from the Board of Zoning Appeals shall be in accordance with section 23.8 of this ordinance. In the event that the Board of Zoning Appeals cannot rule about a specific use, then amendment of the zoning ordinance shall be required to determine where such use is properly allowed. 24.5, action by the mayor and council. The mayor and council, after receiving the recommendations of the planning commission, shall take appropriate action on the application and shall notify the applicant of the final action taken by a written notification. The action of the mayor and council regarding the application shall be the final legislative action taken by the City of Blue Ridge. Any party aggrieved by the final action of the City Council may within 30 days thereafter appeal therefrom to the Fannin County Superior Court by way of the court procedure for a writ of certiorari in accordance with OCGA 5-4-1. Section 2, repeal of conflicting ordinances to the extent of the conflict. But is hereby provided that any ordinance or law which may be applicable hereto and aid in carrying out and making effective the intent, purpose, and provisions thereof is hereby adopted as a part hereof and shall be legally construed to be in favor of holding this ordinance on behalf of the City of Blue Ridge. Section 3, severability. In any paragraph, subparagraph, sentence, clause, or phrase, or any portion of this ordinance should be declared invalid or unconstitutional by any court or competent jurisdiction, or if the provision of any part of this ordinance as applied to any particular situation or set of circumstances shall be declared invalid or unconstitutional, such invalidity shall not be construed to affect the provisions of this ordinance not so held to be invalid, or the application of this ordinance to other circumstances not so held to be invalid. It is hereby declared to be the intent of the City Council of the City of Blue Ridge, Georgia, to provide for separate and divisible parts, and it does hereby adopt any and all parts hereof as may not be held invalid for any reason. I know y'all are sick of listening to me read.
Excellent. Could you repeat that?
Okay, just want to make sure we have it all on record. If we get some. Okay, do we have,
I make it a motion to accept the first reading of the zoning ordinance amendment to revise section 13.1 and 24.5.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All opposed?